What up, everybody? Duck here. Welcome to the stream. How's the volume for you guys? Let me know. I can make some adjustments if necessary. Yeah, what's going on? How was the beach? Beach was good. Miami Beach, if you're referring to that one. It's good. Good times. Heading to another beach in 2 days, South Padre. It's basically like the southernmost tip of Texas in the Gulf there, right by Mexico. South Padre Island for the week. So different beach, same water. Okay, so let's see here. Bitcoin on the screen. Going back to this, I left the title up for the start. The hidden bullish divergence title, right? Because that was the kind of the theme of how we got to where we are now. So if you notice the blue line, this blue line right here, okay, that signified our hidden bullish divergence. So this is kind of the anchor points that we flagged, and from that we got our initial move up, we got a partial decline, and we back tested some critical looking back left here, critical horizontal line support resistance area here. What was once support became resistance here, and it was resistance again initially, but we have now seemed to have made the SR flip, right? You with me on that? So yeah, good times there. Got basically kind of what we wanted to see, right? So let me clean this up a little bit here, and I will zoom in. Zooming in. Okay, so when we identified this hidden bullish divergence, here's what we were looking at, right? We see these two anchor points, and we had a low on price right here on August the 5th, okay? We had this initial low at 37.7. We then proceeded to make a higher low on August the 19th at 44,250. When we did that, on these oscillators here, we had this initial island low, right, from the initial anchor point. We ended up putting in a lower level of negative momentum as we put in a higher low on price, right? Higher low on price up there. So that's your hidden bullish divergence. We also painted it on the RSI, where we had this initial low and a slightly lower low on the negative, on the relative strength index, okay? So that was your hidden bullish divergence. From there, on Bitcoin, we've proceeded to go from this anchor point now and painted a higher low. Okay, so this higher low now is painting bullish convergence. So we have converging trend lines in the same direction, and same thing on the RSI. So basically what you're witnessing here is basically a changing in the momentum, right? Picture this momentum changing structure, right? You come down, you bottom, and now you're kind of rallying back towards the other direction, right? So momentum changing structure on the oscillators, on both of them, right? Significantly lower levels of negative momentum were just painted. You are now waning. See this nice white waning histogram here on the negative histogram island. So ideally we'd want to see this rally all the way up and paint a nice big positive momentum island. We get a little small pullback, and then we rally again. And when we rally again this second time, maybe at this point is where you see some bullish divergence start to develop, right? But we're a long ways from that, because in order to do that, we need a high and then another high. So if we were following these islands here, we're basically saying in order to get to the first island, we're probably going to run all the way up and test the top of this parallel channel. And then we get this small pullback maybe to the midpoint, or maybe even all the way to the bottom of it again. and then we rally again to a new higher high, okay? So this new higher high, this is what allows us to build the bearish divergence here, right? Where we have lower levels of positive momentum with a higher high on price. Well, by then, that's where we were already talking about what we've been saying for a long time, basically 58,600, which is right here, right? So I could move this island. You see what I mean? It's not that big a deal, right? We just move it. But something like that, right, is what we could see on Bitcoin to get the maybe then subtle small pullback. What's going to happen there is going to be interesting because we're going to paint the bat. It's not. It's going to be more of a shark than a bat, to be honest. Okay, why? Here's why. Okay, so if we had a bat, okay, we would look like this. Okay, we'd have like a 50% retracement here, and then we'd go down and we'd have this like 886. Okay, this 886 on the D. This would be a bearish bat, and what signifies it are two things: the 50% on the B, and then the C being a higher low, a slightly higher low. But we didn't get the slightly higher low. We almost got like a lower low. So we'd have to pull this down and make this a lower low. You see that? And now that's not a bat anymore. It's more of a shark. So if we were to replicate this on price, the anchor point's tough. It's more like this, okay? So then we could say, here's your low here. And this would be 886, okay? So 886, 886, 886, right here, okay? 886. So all this is that similar area where you're going to have some kind of anticipated reaction, okay? Now, it doesn't have to be like world ending here, okay? We could just get this small pullback and eventually bottom out somewhere else and then rally again, okay? So, but yeah, I mean, I expect some sort of volatility to happen in that 58,600. I mean, we've been, go back like a couple of weeks, I just literally tweeted out 58,600. That was the tweet, okay? So like, this is that area, all right? So just watch for it. It's too early to call right now. Too early to call, but that's kind of what's in development here, and that would make sense with where we are on price here, getting this push up to test the top side of this parallel channel again, where we've tested it 2 times on the top basically, and we have like 3 nice touch points on the bottom. So pretty valid parallel channel. And look, just because we hit the top of this doesn't mean we have to pull back, okay? There's parallel channels that'll, you know, make its way to the top here and then just break up from it, okay? So it's too early to call, okay? Too early to call. And ultimately we want it to break up. We're really looking for this, okay? We're looking for 80, all right? So 58,600, that's just a major area of interest, okay? Something's going to happen there. But is it the end of the tracks? Not necessarily, right? We may still have more left in the tank, okay? So right now, kind of just, you know, our initial stop would have been down here when this all first started. We would have now moved a stop up to not once, but now a second time, okay? So you have basically a stop loss. If you were trading this as a spot guy, you could have still been holding this long very comfortably in this upsloping channel, and your stop would be exactly where we have it shown right now at around 4,300, okay? 43. You don't want to see this. There is a subtle square up here, okay? You see this lower or higher red line? There's a square up there at 44. Is it possible that that could just come down, that like you might even get some like Darth Maul type wick that goes all the way down there and all the way back up in the same shot type of thing, right? And then continues. So I don't know. Or maybe that's that square up. You know what would be fitting? This rallies up and you get the 58.6 and you come all the way back down, and that's where you get that square up at 44. Okay? And then you go to new highs. All right? That would make sense. So let's keep that in mind too. But you can see it right here, right? It's here, let me help you. So what I'm looking at there is this candle, okay? This massive engulfing candle that basically price was down here and then it just sent itself straight up, okay? And it never, you know, the exchanges never got back to that level again, 44,250 basically. So eventually this comes back down just to tap it and then just sends it again, okay? So that's kind of what I was saying. Doesn't have to happen right away. Like I said, it could happen way down the road, but it's just something to note, okay? Put it on your radar. Whoops, let me back out here. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Okay, so now back to the oscillators. Again, Bitcoin is now painting bullish convergence. So what we'd like to see here on this RSI is a nice breakout of this RSI trend line here. Oops, sorry. 1 second. So what we want to see here is the relative strength get back above this area, right? Kind of breaking out. And another thing that's going to do is it's going to break you back above the 60 on the RSI, which is definitely bullish territory. So there's the 60, okay? So breaking out of this downsloping trend line will not only break the trend line, but it'll also break you up into this 60 area, which is, you know, definitely bullish territory, okay? And we could remain oversold here for quite some time, right? Before we eventually paint that divergence. So this could be, you know, all week, right? All week we could stay oversold. So just because it touches this black area doesn't mean panic, right? It just means we're bullish, okay? So careful how you're interpreting this. Again, on the momentum, we've barely turned the corner down here. Just barely, okay? So we have we still have to paint the rest of this negative momentum island first. And then we can, you know, paint the positive one, right? So yeah, pretty cool stuff here. Long and strong on the corn, right? And, you know, during this entire conversation, it looks like we just crossed 49,000. So, yeah, love to see it. Let's move on and check the total market cap. All right, here we go. Here we go. She's getting ready for the next wave, in my opinion here. So, you see what we did here earlier, right? We hit this like resistance area. So basically you sold off initially at that 2.1 trillion, sold back off to like little under 2 trillion, and now we're rallying right back up to it again. And if we get back up there again, it's likely that this doesn't hold this time and we can rally through it. Maybe we even back test it real quick and then we just continue on our way, right? So I think I had this at 2.3, something like that. So yeah, we're approaching, you know, high levels of volume again here on the total market cap, okay? So love to see that. And I mean, guys, I'm sure you're getting better at identifying this, but look at this structure, right? Like just very clear, like it's our dragon, right? So there's our head. And then, you know, you have these feet down here. There's the feet. Here's that torso and abdomen area. Like picture this being like a dragon, right? I don't know. So bonk. Bonk. And here's the big tail, right? So 886 up here. Next area of interest, 886. That coincides with our 2.3 trillion. And from there, we'll figure it out from there, right? But for now, that's where we go. Again, this could get crazy. If this is a shark, okay, if this is a shark, We could go all the way to the 113. All right, so I'll leave that level marked, and then we could go as high as the 113 on this initial rally. 113, basically right here, 2.666 trillion. Okay, so then what would you do there? You'd paint a dragon that would morph into a 5-0. Okay, so then you would fib this from low to high, and we would come back down 50% of the way. So you'd short this here 50% of the way down, 3 to 1 on your stop, right? So 3 to 1 is your allowance. See where I'm looking at right here, 3 to 1. Somewhere in that basically 2.9 trillion area. It's too sensitive. Okay, 2 point whatever that is. Okay, so this is your shark. Okay, your bearish shark in blue, and then this is your 5-0. Okay, so it morphs into this 5-0. Okay, excuse me. This is your sell-off of your shark. Here is where it morphs into the 5-0. Okay, so you would then long this back the other way. All right, and then this is where you ideally you probably break 3 trillion on that one and stop yourself out if you didn't take profit, right? Makes sense. Go after those stops coming back the other way. 3 to 1 would allow you to have your stop below this. Okay, stop below this. Here becomes the entry of the 5-0, and yeah, so it's possible this gets smoked right through, and this is how you would trade this over the next little while. So again, this is what we were talking about with Bitcoin pulling back. This could be that little pullback, and then you send it to the new high, right? So but by the time we get here, I mean, this could already be an initial new high, just slightly, like 70, right? Just slightly new high. And then you pull all the way back to like 50, and then you go to 80, right? Something like that could be in the cards, right? So let's keep an eye on those things as well, okay? Once we break this 2.5 trillion right here, if we break above that and hold it, I don't know, it might just go right away. Okay, so we gotta be careful here. We gotta have some significant divergence if you're gonna take this short. Okay, and it'll be there. It'll be blaring its head out. That's a long run to here. Okay, it is not outside the realm of possibilities to be showing significant amount of bearish divergence at that level. Okay, so would not be surprised at all. Right now, you've simply turned the hidden bullish divergence on the MACD right here. Hidden bullish divergence on the MACD is where you started. That is now morphed into bullish convergence on the MACD. So you have converging trend lines now, which price action continuation to the upside. On the RSI, you ended up painting 3 times. It's almost like, okay, there's a hidden bullish divergence into another hidden bullish divergence. See this, where you had a higher low on price and a lower level of relative strength. So this is 3x, 3 times, and that's a rare one. That's a nasty little sucker. That's a nasty one. Okay, so let's see how that plays out. Okay, so we will note that for next session and see how that plays out. Okay, ideally, again, we're figuring once we break this like 2.1 trillion, we should get that next markup. Okay, a nice little rally upcoming. Okay, and again, that aligns with Bitcoin rallying here, right? So it aligns with the RSI breakout here. It aligns with turning this into, positive momentum here. So yeah, that's how this goes. All right. Moving on to ETH. Oh yeah, check this out. This is what we were checking out earlier. This is TradingView. So basically what I did is I copy a tweet, right? And when you paste it into TradingView, it based on the date of the tweet, it's pulling the data from Twitter metrics, right? It's pulling this data of the tweet date and time, and it's stamping that here automatically. It's drawing this boom right to that stamped mark. Okay, so pretty sick. So as you can see, when we move the tweet around, the metric, the bar of the tweet doesn't change on one of the pivots, right? It just matters where you want to put this to keep it out of the way. So we can keep it down here out of the way, right? And then here's our most recent one, where we basically were identifying this double bottom and started calling out the bears again, just stirring the pot like we like to do, right? Stir that pot. Stir that pot. Okay, so we'll put the tweets down there and we will move on. All right, so what we had here on Russian Ethereum is, again, you had this low anchor point here and then this higher low here that we've identified. Okay, you can see the blue trend line. We're looking back at this hidden bullish divergence. Again, you could barely see that sucker. Look how weak that sell-off was here, right? And then the bears managed to create a nasty amount of negative momentum, but they were only able to slightly push down the price. And then they basically painted an Adam and Eve Bulkowski double bottom with an overhead resistance point that's being tested basically as we speak. And if that breaks, if they lose basically 3,300, 3,350 even to be safe, this is going to mark up pretty significant to new higher levels. Okay, so on the MACD here, what have we done now is we've went from the hidden bullish divergence again to basically bullish convergence, where we're now converging in the same direction, right? This current price action that we're dealing with up here, right? Our low and our new slightly higher low here, right, is now converging in the same direction as this weaker island of negative momentum. And on the RSI, once again, you're painting the 3x hidden bullish divergence on the RSI. I'm pretty sure. Let's check it to be sure. But yeah, we have, see this? We have our initial low on price was up here. We painted our much lower levels of relative strength, and you can see that's equal. This is a lower level, okay? 3 times hidden bullish divergence on the RSI. Let's see if this works. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so we're once again going to identify this for later, and we're going to say, hey, what happened here when we left off, right? What happened? Whoops. What happened to the RSI when we left off? And again, what we want to see here is an RSI trendline breakout, which we're basically almost doing it already. Oh no, I'll put that right there. Okay, so we marked the 60. That'd be really nice to get above this level. Okay, I'm going to set an alert right there. Add an alert on the RSI for when we break it. And when we hit this, Pepe's going off in the chat. You heard? Okay. So when we break that, it's going to happen because we're breaking this. Okay, we're going to be breaking this, and that's going to set that alert off. That's the only way. That's the only way. We have to be breaching this, and that's the alert that's going to set off. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I mean, guys, this could mark up pretty significant. Our target levels are really up here, okay? I'm going to get rid of this for now. I don't like that one. I like this level, okay? So between 5,700 and 6,500, ultimately, I feel like it's this sweet spot at 60,000, like 80. I know it's marked a little higher, but it just depends, right? It's not ever, we don't care about it being an exact price. We just care about, you know, it'll just be some stupid wick up into it and come right out. You know what I mean? We don't really care about the exact dollar figure. We just are concerned with this markup and riding this trend, right? Trend is our friend, okay? So let's move on. ETH BTC. Okay. ETH BTC, check this out. So we initially had the green here was bullish divergence, okay? We had bullish divergence on the MACD, and then we currently, I'm pretty sure, we didn't quite paint it on the MACD. It ended up being convergence, okay? So we painted bullish convergence on the MACD and on the RSI, which it's fine. It still indicates price action continuation to the upside, and I kind of like that we look. You play them out, right? You only have 3 of them, so you have, here's your bullish divergence, here's your bullish convergence, and then you have one more, the hidden bullish divergence. So by the time, you know, it would be interesting. We'd have to rally like way up, and we'd sell off this weak little sell off. How would it look? Yeah. Actually, it could happen right here. We could have this decent little pullback, but it just never manages to break this previous low. And we end up painting lower levels of negative momentum there. Okay, so your hidden bullish divergence can still happen like this. Okay. And you basically, that would put in the 3 of them, okay? There's 3 of them. That's why we're using 3 different colors. Once you've painted all 3 of the divergences on the bullish side, after that is where you typically see now the bearish side start to play. Does that make sense? So it's like we go through this cycle, and then we start the other side of the bearish cycle, where we have the bearish divergence into the bearish convergence, into the hidden bearish divergence, or in any sort of order there. And then that's your next wave down, right? So those are just things that we attempt to identify every single wave cycle, okay? All right, so moving along here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, clean that up. All right, so check this out. Looking back left here, our previous B anchor point, you see this anchor point here of the yellow harmonic? Okay, our previous B anchor point. If we look at that and we go ahead and extend that over, you can see that we have now found support at a critical horizontal line support resistance area, okay? Critical support resistance, and we're showing, you know, bullish convergence at a critical kind of, you know, level, right? So important. Here's where we will see that breakout. Okay, we're working on it right now. This downsloping trend line kind of, I mean, we might already be, no, not quite, but like, you know what I'm saying though, we're right there. We are working on it, all right? And look at the momentum. Look at this momentum just shifting. Okay, it dropped off and here it comes, right? So you can get this positive island that's going to paint. And this positive island here, right? This positive island is going to be your breakout. Maybe you back test it, whatever, and go again, but you'll end up, you know, just painting another one like that, right? So let's keep an eye out for this. Also, you see it on the RSI as well, right? So you're coming to a headway. You might already be breaking out. So, which this just means ETH's just going to straight send it, because we're basically already saying Bitcoin's going to break out. Bitcoin's breaking out. Bitcoin breaking out. And this is saying ETH is going to break out harder. So going to our ETH USDT chart, I mean, it's all set up, right? It's all set up. 3x hidden bullish divergence on the RSI, approaching overhead supply line that's drying up. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out, bears, right? If you're a bear here, you're about to get chopped up. Chopped up. All right. So, moving along. All right, so that was ETH BTC, right? ETH BTC. We're looking for a markup to this next level, which basically, looking back at our harmonics, right? We have these yellow. We almost hit the yellow one. You could say we kind of already did that one. But either way, we did not hit the C, okay? And that's basically where I'm aiming right into, okay? Into that pocket. This is our next area of interest right here, okay? For ETH to BTC. Now, if we could break above that and flip it into, you know, flip this, you know, get our, get our SR flip here, support resistance flip at this upper level at 0.078 basically, then we could see, you know, potential markup all the way up to this 0.1 right area, and that's fibbing from the previous high to low, and up in that 0.1 area we have the 1618 golden mean ratio, right? So that's kind of how we would see ETH completely destroying the market, right? Just full send, all right, at that point. All right, moving along. YFI. Okay, again, guys, look at this. Critical support resistance area, where looking back left, we have this clear identifiable resistance point, right? We ran up, failed, sold back off. We are now there. We just blew right through it and have now back tested it as support, and now we're looking to break out. Okay, so that is the plan here on YFI. All right. I mean, looking back even further here, if we zoom out a bit, you can see, looking back left, that orange, yellow, whatever line we have back here. Look at this. Okay, watch this. You see where we are, guys? How critical this level is? But, I mean, again, right now, you could just throw a nice little stop right here and, like, get grandma on the phone. Say, grandma, long YFI, 34,453, your stop, grandma. Pull the trigger right now at 37,880 and send this thing to, like, 200,000. Okay? What did you just say, Duck? 200,000. Yeah, bro. That's what I said. All right, watch. You fib this sucker from high to low, and you target the 1618 golden mean ratio. It's 140,000. I know it sounds crazy and all, but you haven't even seen crazy yet. Okay. 32 to 1 on your money. So, I mean, you could have a little bit of a wider stop, but, I mean, you don't need to. You could just, whatever, right? 13 to 1 on your money. I mean, geez, if you want 3 to 1, the spot trader could even long right here and 8-pin, and geez, 3 to 1s. I wouldn't go beyond this, right? So the worst scenario you're going to put yourself in right here is 7 to 1. Now, yeah, I get it. This is a ballsy target, but your first target can still be good, right? Your first target is still 3 to 1, okay? If you want to get a little more conservative. I get it. That was crazy. But I'm serious, guys. Like, it's just YFI. There's something about it where it's setting up for crazy, okay? It's setting itself up for some crazy, all right? Look at how much room it has to run against Bitcoin. And we're talking about Bitcoin sending at the same time. Like, this is like pretty epic stuff right here, guys. Like, bink. Easy invalidation on your stop. 6-1 at the first target. And I shortchanged us even a little better. 618. The 618 at the first target on your money. Second target, 9.5 to 1. Okay? So if you get that second target, that's 4.1. That means the price of YFI is 4.1 to 1 ratio on Bitcoin. Okay? We'll call it 4.14 to 1. Okay? This is what we're trying to say. 1 Bitcoin equals... No, I'm saying that wrong. I'm saying that way wrong. This is 4.14. This is 1. There you go. This is the ratio right here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's very possible that you can see this Wi-Fi USDT get all the way up here to that 140 mark that we had it. You know what I mean? It's just, it's there, guys. It's there. Watch out. Don't be surprised. Like, don't be surprised. All right, moving on. Russian Litecoin. Look at this nice double bottom we have right here. Nice tweezer double bottom, slightly higher low, significant. Watch, let's zoom in on this. Zoom. Clean it up. Let's clean it up. There's too much paint on the screen. Okay. We'll figure it. This is the golden zone. So we'll mark the top of the golden zone. That's a 618. I don't like that it's red though. Okay, that's a 618, top of the golden zone. So, what was I just saying was, zooming in on this. Oh, let's go even to the 12-hour here. Look at Litecoin, okay? Look at this, okay? So, this is that hidden bullish divergence. This is the first initial low, okay? Here's your initial low on price, and then you have a slightly higher low. Beautiful tweezer bottom, beautiful swing low failure pattern where you have a low on price, a slightly lower low on price, and then a slightly higher low on price. Swing low failure pattern into the Bulkowski double bottom, slightly higher low with the overhead. Okay, look, when we do this harmonic, okay, XA, we usually want this to be a lower, okay, lower B point, and then you have this higher low here, and then you send it, and this is the butterfly, right? But if you notice that our B point did not do that, okay? XAB, you see how we extended over the X point? All right, so because of this, I feel that this is even more bullish than this. Yes, we invalidated the pattern. Basically, it's like this, right? We made this go all the way up like this. Okay, that's our pattern. It's not really a conventional harmonic like we'd like to normally see. That would have been down here, right? Keep this like maybe if this stayed and held, but it didn't. It went all the way up here. And when it does that, I've seen this story before. This is like uber bullish. So this ends up full sending here, okay? So this Litecoin is going to be at $200 here before you know it, all right? Real soon. Real soon, okay? So keep that in mind. I mean, you want to see this break above this 180 point, and there's a square up there, okay? Maybe you hit that, get a small partial decline, and then from there you completely just send it, right? So yeah, looks good. Looks good. Okay, looks good on the Russian Litecoin. So we are bullish here, very bullish, bullish, bullish. And again, this is just 204. That's not even, that's just blah, small target, right? On the grand scheme of things. That's just the next area of interest, okay? So we're looking for much bigger things here, but yeah, right now the blue line, we had our hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. This is now turned into, again, from hidden bull to bullish convergence. Okay. And on the RSI, gosh, look at that. 3x bullish hidden bullish divergence. Again, this sucker did it again. Whoops. Sorry. One more time. Bear with me. 1, 2, 3, double click. Did it work? It did not work. Okay, so let me try this again. Here we go. Here we go. That's where it went down. That's where it happened. That's where we're looking back. Okay. Hidden bullish divergence 3 times RSI. Convergence on the MACD, approaching this critical overhead resistance area. Okay. So once we get through this, we're off and running. Okay. All right. Moving along. OMG. OMG is like, I don't know. Got some feelings about this. Why is there so many dots? All right. Yeah. Full send, right? So, OMG. The reason we're leaning so bullish here is basically like, this is really textbook support resistance flip here that we basically, right, we painted these 2 harmonics, right? So we hit the yellow lines first, right? We hit the yellow harmonics first. We knocked out those targets. We then broke through the top of the yellow cipher, butterfly, and back tested it as support, and then engulfed straight up. Okay. We then rallied up to the first target of the larger butterfly, and then now back tested the previous resistance area as support, okay, and are now engulfing off of it again. Okay, so this is just really bullish price action. Okay, looking back at this line that we're see how critical this is. If you see where this comes from back here, right? I mean, we could even go further back, and you can see this just continues to be a critical horizontal line support resistance area, right? What was once resistance became support, resistance again right here. Okay, and we've now flipped that area. See how we've now flipped that area again into support. So ideally, this is, you know, we should see a pretty good run off of this level. I mean, the next square up's up here at $12. Okay, so that'd be good to see on OMG. And the reason you saw a much higher target than that is because I was just fibbing right? From the previous all-time high, $15 to the low, $3. And we were just looking up here, 1272, 18. We then got the 1414 at $20, psychological number, and then we got the 1618 up at 23. Okay, so these are our overhead targets that we are, kind of looking at. Hence the massive candle when we first open the screen. Okay, that's where it all comes back from. And you could just see this huge turning of the tides again, right? This price action structure where you're just, we're going to anchor this, but you see what I'm getting at, right? You see what I'm getting at. Just this change in momentum, right? Change in price action structure. We would also have, a little bit of that same kind of shark-esque. Let's see, it might be too low. No, it's not bad. 886,113. So that 113 is up here. Excuse me. Okay. So that would look like this. Again, you would short this 50% of the way back down. See how that would line up. Oof. It does this though, guys. It does this. We can go look at this on other charts and I will show you this exact same thing occurring. Okay. So, watch out. But that's how we could end up there, all right? So we get this rally up, rally up, rally up, sell off all the way back down, and then rally up again all the way up, all right? It would paint like that. Okay. Of course, those aren't lined up exactly. It would be more like this, right? If you wanted to be more precise on that, okay? But and again, duration doesn't matter. We could drag this all the way over here, okay? So something like that. Watch out. Link. Moving along. Link. Everything pretty much at this point is going to repeat itself, okay? So Link here gave you actually 3x bullish divergence. Did that work? Nope. Link is giving us 3x bullish divergence on both the RSI and the MACD. How nice of you. All right, there you go. Twice, 2 times. Not once, but twice. You heard it here first. Hidden bullish divergence just developing for the 3rd time. Man, is it? It's like, gosh, it's not exactly hidden bullish divergence. It's more like this. You got hidden bullish divergence here, and then you painted, God. Yeah, this one's interesting. It's almost like you just take it right through. But yeah, either way, it's the same story. Nothing's going to change. The tune is still the same here. You're still looking to break this downsloping little wedge of action here, right? So whatever you got to do here, but that's still the plan, all right? Interesting price action. You could probably have a stop pretty tight at this point. either up real close at the previous just local low that just happened, or this clutter level below, right? So it's up to you, depends on your leverage, of course, but link, everything's gonna just get sucked right up with Bitcoin, with Ethereum. If those go, it's gonna bring everything. I mean, we just said total's gonna go, right? So how would total go if all these shit coins aren't pumping, right? So if we're expecting total to come all the way up here, right, then we need all of these shit coins to pump as well. It's almost like this, right? Gosh, so subtle. So subtle. This painted class A bullish divergence right after. See, so it just, you get these, you get all three of them, right? You get all three variations. You go from either the class A bullish divergence, you start it, or maybe it's a hidden bullish divergence that starts it. And this goes second. And then up here somewhere, you'll have bullish convergence. So it's interesting how this works, but it's kind of just the same story time and time again, right? You can see this over and over and over. This one was not really anything. It was like that. Okay, there you go. So right now in uni, critical area we got to break above is right here, $30. If you could break above $30, you get the SR flip on 30. That is going to be, you know, send it. XLM, we got this downsloping trend line here. So let's look for a breach of this. Looks like you got, again, this little local Bulkowski double bottom on not low time frame, but just zooming in, right? Another double bottom, little downsloping trend line here. So look for the next area of interest to be right in this blue square, because that's where these harmonic anchor points are coming from, right? That's what that is. So that's why we have it highlighted that way. Watch for some action right into the 44 to 47 cent area on XLM. AVE. So this is good. You've broken above some previous harmonic take profit lower time frame targets, okay, and you've now back tested them as support, okay, so good. You've actually already hit all of these targets on this upper harmonic as well, so that's nice to see. So basically at this point, just like the others, you want to see a breakout here at some point here pretty soon. Breach, get up into this area, and then find your way to the highs, okay? So AVE could be up at, you know, $550 to $600 here in no time. Dodge, critical area you find yourself in. Look at this. This area we have marked since, you know, going back, looking left here. It was once, you could see this wick went right down to the bottom of it. This wick went right up to the top of it. That kind of marked our barrier here. Coming back up, you see this wick went into it. This wick down into it. So a lot of this wicks down into it. A lot of respect of this area. So again, it'd be very critical if we can break up and out of it, and we would again breach this downsloping trend line at the same time, right? So breach it, maybe back test it, but ultimately this is the golden zone. So you find your way up into the golden zone, hang out in there for a while, see what happens, and then maybe you mark up into the deep retrace on Dodge, okay? But again, like a lot of other things, it's like this is just kind of getting started, and you find your way up on this tail of the dragon for quite some time, right? So okay, moving along. YFI. Okay guys, here we go. Here's your initial breach. I've marked this. Maybe we haven't breached yet, maybe we have, but it's like right there, man. Just depends on the anchor, I guess. But very soon, I expect this to break out. Maybe you back test it, maybe you don't, and then you rally. Okay. Break this back test as support would be good. Okay. And then up into this gray box is, yeah, it's just a deep retrace area. Okay. Looking back left, deep retrace. But that's definitely our next critical area, right? Between 6,000 and 7,500 on YFI. YFII, excuse me. Double the I's. XRP looking very similar to that. Break out of this downsloping trend line. You have the hidden bullish divergence. So, yeah. Momentum, negative momentum has a long ways to go here, guys, to get back positive, right? And then start waning the other way. So that's a lot of upsloping price. That's a lot of price action to the upside to create this. Okay. Moving along, we have the Shiba. Okay, Shiba, look at this, up 7% on the day. Critical area, okay, where you have a pretty easy invalidation point here, right? Just look back left. If you lose this area, I would not want to be in this asset any longer. Okay. So for right now, I mean, you could take this long, you could punt a long right here. Pretty good shape. Okay. So you want to break above that 930 sats. So we want to get up here, back test that area as support, where you could see again resistance. Come on, let's break that. And if we can break that, you'll see the next complete markup in price. Again, we kind of marked this as a big range, right? We mark these ranges like this, and I'm just going to take that range and I'm going to clone it and bring it right up. So when you mark up from here, usually what happens is that marks you right up to the top of the next range, and then you maybe find your way all the way back down again to, like that. But yeah, that markup to that next range is going to be pretty significant. You see how I just stacked them like that? I could make this one different colors if it helps you see it. Make this one thick. So there's your new range markup. Range 1, range 2, right? Just marking up to the next supply area, right? That's it. So right, that's Shiba shitcoin. Even from right here, look, you could just send it ape in from here, top of the next range, stop. Can be 3-to-1, which 3-to-1 does basically allow you to have it below where we want it. So that's like a perfect 3-to-1 trade with a perfect invalidation point with the pretty much perfect target. Measured move. Okay, Bulkowski shit. Shiba shitcoin. All right, Bitcoin Cash. We're getting a bullish engulfing swing low failure pattern on the 12-hour. This is it. This is how it starts. Let's get it. Let me just erase that. Okay, here's a golden zone. Let's go back there a second time. But yeah, hidden bullish divergence, clear hidden bullish divergence. However you want to mark that, it's time. Okay, so you want to break above this. What we have marked here again, you can see critical resistance area. That was previous support. That is the approaching orange line here. Okay, so we want to see a nice markup in price. Get above this, maybe back test it, and then rally through to the top of the golden zone. Okay, so even shit coins like Bitcoin Cash can be brought up with the rest of the market. Okay, and this one again, it's barely started out, where others are much higher up already. This one, Litecoin, you know, they're barely starting out. So Uni, here we go. We have these like dual hidden bullish divergences. Again, critical previous support is now resistance, resistance again. So let's break above this orange line at $28, and we could see some nice price action on Uni, right? 1272 maybe, butterfly. So yeah, let's see. Uni. Okay. Well, I think, oh, one more. There was Ave. Similar story. Dual hidden bullish divergence. Just painted another one. Okay. You never came back to the low. Now you're going to rally. Previous resistance, resistance, resistance. We need to flip this from resistance into support, right? Get our SR flip. We had our low. We had our slightly higher low, right? We painted this neckline, and again, even this neckline is being back tested almost perfectly right now as support, right? Right at the hidden bullish divergence, right at the swing low failure. So this is really, really good place to be, you know, punting along here. Look to mark up, get that SR flip, and continue on to higher prices. AAVE. Okay, Tezzy's has been, see, look at Ave. Okay, there's that back test of that previous high, and there's that higher one. Now look at Tezzy's. Okay, you're right here on Ave. See this? This is Ave. This is Ave. This is what's going to happen to Ave. You see that? Nem is telling you the future. I mean, Tezzy's is telling you the future of Ave. It's right there in the Tezzy's. Okay. And back to good old Bitcoin. It looks like we engulfed past 12 hours. Huge engulfing candle. Squared right up at that level. Right? Right to the square up. Right to the square up. Come on, bro. So yeah, let's see if we could flip this into support and continue on and test the top side of this parallel channel again. Total engulfed, ETH engulfed, breaking out, ETH BTC, YFI, springing, contracting, price action, boom. Litecoin, double bottom. Come on, guys. All right. Pretty much does it for the stream tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoy the new Twitter additions to TradingView. It's kind of sick. Yeah. All right. Cool. That's it, guys. Catch you back in Discord. Actually, you know what? For good old time's sake here, let's end it like this. Magic 8 Ball, how have you been? Magic 8 Ball, I don't know if you've been in contact with the Russians lately, but we're really concerned with Ethereum here, and if the Russians plan on pumping this. So what's the deal, Magic 8 Ball? Pump Russian Ethereum or not? Moon. The 8 Ball says moon. Says Russians are going to the moon. Breaking news. Russians are going to the moon. Try some ceviche in South Padre. I will. Alright, guys. That's it. Duck out. Peace.